Charli D'Amelio is one of the most well-known figures in the world of social media. In particular, she's known as the Queen of TikTok. She's amassed more followers on the website than anybody else, even celebrities. She has done a variety of things to further her career, and she has legions of adoring fans following her every breath. But she isn't flawless in what she does, and not everything she puts out there is flattering. So without further ado, here is Charli D'Amelio's 10 most awkward moments. But before we get into it, do me a favor, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notifications when a new video is published. Number 10. The breakup with Little Huddy. It is, without a doubt, one of her most painful moments. But just to get it out of the way, let us put it out there first. Charli D'Amelio was a member of the Hype House, a collective that brought together social media stars in one home for partnerships and other activities. Part-time participants of the house, Charli and her sister Dixie, contributed to Charli hooking up with fellow housemate Little Huddy. Things seemed to be going well, but then something went wrong, and the consequences were all over the news. It all started when a slew of TikTok actors, including Josh Richards, Bryce Hall, and other former and current Sway House members, began unfollowing Chase and Little Huddy on Instagram. Charli then tweeted that, which she later deleted, "I hope she was worth it." Chase seemed to respond by tweeting, then deleting it. "All of this drama going on because I kissed Nessa when we were both single. You're not alone if you see a trend in the formation and deletion of tweets. That is normally a hint that they don't want anything to be seen. But they upload it for some purpose and nothing gets erased from the internet." Nessa Bart is Josh Richards' ex-girlfriend, in case you don't remember. When Chase and Charli were dating earlier this year, there were rumors that Chase had cheated on Charli with Nessa. Josh and Bryce responded by releasing the diss track Still Softish. Nessa and Josh have broken up since then. Charli appeared to react in a now deleted tweet, "Then you shouldn't have come to my house after without telling me, thinking into it they're not even close." Chase then decided it was time to air out all the rest of TikTok community drama. "Since all my drama has to be put on the internet for the world to judge, let's lay out everyone else's," he said. And he did, even though it was a disaster, let me tell you. Or rather, don't let me tell you. Instead, let's continue the plot. So Charli wasn't having it. "Stop deflecting your action onto others because you can't take responsibility, Chase," she wrote. "Want me to talk about how you treated me throughout a relationship, or do you want to just continue to play the victim?" Dixie D'Amelio, Charli's sister, also replied to Chase, "You're wild," she said. "Stop playing the victim and worry about yourself." His wild and bizarre talk demonstrates several aspects about teenagers. One is that they have perplexing means of ways of dealing with relationships. Also, Twitter seems to be the place to spill the dirty laundry about said relationships when they go bad, because I have no idea about it. Charli, on the other hand, was undoubtedly humiliated when news media outlets from around the world were reporting on this very noisy and boisterous incident on Twitter. There was also videos made about it, breaking down every single detail. When you start trying to build a name for yourself, it's the last thing you want. And, as many celebrities have learned, you will still be more notable for your breakups than how you became famous. Ironically, they seem to have reconciled following the incident, further adds to the creepiness situation. Number 9. The security threat. While it's not technically an awkward moment, it should be paused and acknowledged for what it is. Charli had a terrifying experience in July. Someone said they were coming to her home in Connecticut to deal with her while she was online reviewing her profiles one day. This allegation alarmed her whole family, prompting them to call the cops and employ guards to protect them so they wouldn't have to think about someone showing up at their house. On one side, the best of their experience, no one arrived. However, the attack shook the family to its heart. Charli, after all, has never done anything to elicit such a response from someone. She's a TikTok dancer, not a diverse figure, so it's creepy and wrong for anyone to suggest they're going to pay her a visit at her house, not to mention humiliating, as it turned out to be nothing more than preening, and they were worried about nothing at all. However, they were unaware of this at the moment. Number 8. Her parents are on TikTok. It is simple to believe that Charli is the only one in her family who is not only brilliant, but also a star in TikTok. You'd be completely incorrect. In reality, her parents are not only brilliant, but they also like to flaunt them on TikTok, which is both surprising and humiliating. Indeed, she is one whose parents have appeared on the site, demonstrating that we all are doomed. However, the most humiliating aspect is that they are now popular and have millions of views, not to mention. Number 7. Don't forget about Dixie. Often TV programs and films tend to emphasize how certain older siblings will get it better than their younger siblings. The card has been used to great advantage by whole franchises, but in the case of the D'Amelio family, it's the reverse, as Charli is the youngest of the family's children. She also has a sister who is 2 years older than her named Dixie, who is also on TikTok. In terms of numbers of fans, Charli far outnumbers Dixie. Charli has had more than 80 million followers, while Dixie has more than 30 million, which is also impressive. But it must be a little embarrassing to know that you're outperforming your sister, particularly because some people believe Dixie is more talented than Charli. Number 6. Makeup. Charli is a one-of-a-kind celebrity in many respects, one of which you would not think is her dislike of makeup. She wears it, but only to a certain extent, so she likes to maintain her natural appearance. This sets her apart from the vast majority of people in the world today, and it distinguishes her as a unique individual. Although it must be awkward because you see someone with a lot of makeup and they stare at you strangely when you don't. But don't give up, Charli. To each their own. Number 5. Bloopers. Given Charli's popularity as a TikTok's biggest star, you'd imagine she'd like multiple takes on anything she does, including dance routines. However, there are videos online demonstrating that Charli does make mistakes, and that she does so often. Although she's undoubtedly humiliated at times, she accepts it and laughs it off. But frankly, no one is perfect, even the Queen of TikTok, so this reveals a positive side of her. Number 4. School life. Most people believe Charli has it all together and doesn't have to do stuff that most kids do. But she does. Her parents make sure she goes to school even though she isn't in college yet. It's just a private school, but imagine the stares she gets from the students in the building. She's a queen in their midst, and they're all likely following her profile on TikTok. Having her in person would be a surprise for them, but it must be humiliating for Charli, who doesn't like all the publicity at school because she's just trying to get things done. Number 3. The Hype House. It's a little tricky because, as we discussed earlier, both Charli and Dixie were once members of the Hype House. They couldn't be with them full-time in Los Angeles because they lived in Connecticut. And after all of their star power soared, they fled the home, causing a major uproar, and everyone was left questioning why they left and so on. They had to make popular announcements to de-escalate the situation, which must have been overwhelming. However, this may be a wise decision because cracks have been emerging in the Hype building, and it's obviously for the best, and they're no longer a part of it. Number 2. Meeting J-Lo. Alright, so it wasn't necessarily an awkward moment, but you have to imagine that she was shocked when Jennifer Lopez asked her to assist with the dance during Super Bowl weekend, and being filmed with her would have been overwhelming in a good way. Plus, she also acting it out to make sure she didn't say or do something embarrassing in front of one of her idols. Number 1. The expectations. Once you have a lot of popularity, people have a lot of expectations of you, and it can be embarrassing to have to deal with people who have an unreasonable expectation of you. That's exactly what happens, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. Charli, on the other hand, has done a good job of maintaining her composure while struggling for what she believes in and refusing to give in to bullying. She's a decent girl, and there will undoubtedly be more embarrassing times in her future. We believe all will be well. Take a look at Charli as the camera or the spotlight didn't reveal her different positive attributes and only focus on her darker ones. Were you shocked by any of the information here? Which one of these did you find the most awkward? What are your thoughts on this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Before leaving, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.